Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
Well, now, Scotland's former First Minister, Alex Salmond, has a new talk show on the Russian state-funded channel Russia Today, which premieres later this week. And that hasn't gone down terribly well with some of his political colleagues who've accused the channel of being a propaganda vehicle. Mr. Salmond joins us now. Did you offer or did they ask?
I offered the show to a range of broadcasting companies, and RT UK put in the best offer, and also one that offers an international platform. But it's produced by my production company, Slange Productions. It's edited, produced by me. Anything in that programme will be mine and mine alone. And the only decision RT make is whether they want to broadcast it or not.
Well, the independence, in a sense, is neither here nor there, is it? Because the more independent, in a funny sort of way, that you appear, the better coup you are.
Yeah, but not appearance, John. But look, if it's an argument I've heard that just by appearing on RT you lend credibility to the station, then that will apply to the 100 MPs in the current House of Commons from all the political parties who've been on RT productions. Incidentally, not necessarily on independent productions like mine, but on RT productions, including every single party leader in the House of Commons, with the exception of the Prime Minister.
These are people who are interviewed. They're not people who present shows. Now, just take for a moment. The Russians are shown an individual, are showing an individual who, after all, was First Minister of Scotland. That's a tremendous coup on a channel that is suspected of being, part of this Kremlin-run operation, which is infecting the West with fake news.
Well, is it a bigger coup than Vince Cable's hour-long interview and going underground on RT earlier this year? Or, for that matter, the great broadcaster...
In this moment, there's a difference between you and me.
The great broadcaster,
You're the interviewee,
Larry King.
I'm the anchor.
Well, no, but I'm learning.
Now you're going to be the anchor.
I'm learning from you.
But now you're going to be the anchor.
Watching
That's
for
different.
Years.
That's different.
No, I don't agree. I mean, there's two arguments. One, is this Russian propaganda that I'm producing? No, it's the view of Alex Salmond and the people I'm interviewing. Secondly, by appearing on RT, do you give credibility? Remember, RT is licensed to broadcast by our authorities in Ofcom. You can't license a station to broadcast and say you shouldn't go on it to be broadcast.
The question is the appearance of Alex Salmond on a Russian medium in an era in which Russia is accused of fiddling about with truth, is it actually helping to boost that operation? And surely the answer is inescapably yes.
No, that applies to 50 Labour MPs, including all of the current leadership, 37 Tory MPs, 14 SNP MPs and 7 Liberal Democrats. Now,
but you refuse to delineate between people who are interviewed, that's one thing, but actually to be the anchor. The First Minister of Scotland turns out...
Well, I actually think the argument would be a show that I produce, which is an independent production, which is edited by me, which cannot be interfered with, is a much more valid communication than appearing on a show that's edited elsewhere. But one thing I would say, when I've been on an RT show, for example, Sophie Shevardnadze last year, where I launched a strong attack on Russian intervention in Syria, that was shown. It wasn't edited, it wasn't censured in any way whatsoever. Now, if anyone can tell me when their views have been edited or censured by RT, when they've appeared on criticising Russian policy, I'll probably get them on my show to tell me all about it. Now,
hang on a minute. The Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Theresa May, says this. Russia is seeking to weaponise information, deploying its state-run media, that's you, organisations, to plant fake stories, photoshopped images, in an attempt to sow discord in the West and undermine our institutions.
There's going to be nothing fake about the information on the show I'm producing. But can I just say...
she's talking about the carrier, the station.
Look, the Prime Minister last night doesn't want to talk about Brexit. She doesn't want to talk about shambles of a cabinet. But is there been interference from various countries in referendum in the UK? Certainly, yes. I can tell you tonight that in the Scottish referendum of 2014, there was interference from third countries in that referendum. There was interference from the President of the United States on the invitation of the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister of Australia, invited by David Cameron, the Prime Minister, and suggested in the Sunday Herald that Downing Street in 2014 asked President Putin to interfere.
That's your claim. So
no, that's
not
my claim. That's the Sunday Herald's claim.
I'm going to ask you a straight question.
Also, they didn't deny
Here's a straight question. Forget the propaganda. Let's be absolutely clear about this.
John, that's the Sunday Herald.
This goes to the root of the whole problem. Is there Russian meddling in the foreign media?
Well, I mean, I believe that all countries, certainly America, certainly Britain, have meddled in other people's elections for many years.
So Russia's just the same as any other country?
I've no information.
Russia's just the same as any other country?
The last count I saw for America was 80 interferences in elections. I mean, Britain, well, some years ago, admittedly, but we know deposed democratically elected governments in Iran and British Ghana. It's the hypocrisy I find astounding.
Well, isn't it a hypocrisy in a man who had great respect in this country going and selling his wares to a Russian entity which is known to pervert the truth? Have you looked at some of the things that Russia Today says?
Well, listen, John, my programme, the one that I'm producing, the one that I'm editing, is my responsibility. All I've got is
on a channel over which you have no control whatever.
No,
and a channel which may be doing things...
Look, the channel is the responsibility of the British Broadcasting Authority. How on earth can you licence a channel to broadcast and then complain at broadcast? And I'll tell you something else, John.
Wouldn't Scottish Television give you a slot? Wouldn't they pay you enough?
Well, I'll tell you, if Scottish Television give me a shot, I'll broadcast...
You mean if they pay as much as the Russians are paying you?
Well, if Channel 4 would offer me a shot, but you know...
Well, if they would pay what the Russians are paying you the most, why do you think they're doing that?
Why do you think the Russians want to pay you so much? By a broadcaster who wanted to broadcast my show, John.
Why is it worth the Russians paying you so much to do it?
John, I was told that I would be too hot a property for the British television authorities. How do you square that?
You said it yourself, hot property. That's exactly what you are, hot red property.
How do you square that with an argument for freedom of speech? And listen, thank you for the advance publicity, and please, John, watch the show. You
don't think there's a danger that you are the best thing they've ever got since Philby?
I think I'm going to produce a show which is worth watching, and they'll be judged on the basis of the programme. Watch the programme and then judge, John.
Alex Salmond, thanks very much. Matt?
Hot property.